Are you in a space where you feel lost, confused, overwhelmed? Perhaps your spine or your hip is fractured. You've learnt that you've got osteoporosis. You're full of fear, your head is going crazy, and you truly don't know what to do. Well, my name is Dale. I'm from Healing Osteoporosis Naturally, and I have had what I can only describe as the worst year of my life. And in terms of my mental health, I think it's the lowest I have ever been. In January 2018, my spine fractured. I'd been busy paying attention to other things in my life. You know, osteoporosis is a silent disease. You don't know it's happening. It just comes and smacks you in the face and you have to deal with it. What had happened previously that I was completely unaware of, I'd had shingles. And shingles, when I'd had a trauma to my ribs and shingles, which had gone untreated. And shingles raises prolactin, one of the many things that does, trauma to the chest. And it raises prolactin, which lowers estrogen. And there are two neurotransmitters that work with both of those hormones. One is dopamine and one is serotonin. And you will know that, let's call them, motivation and feel-good factors. And if you don't have them, you're going to crash. But what happened prior to this was I hadn't actually noticed my stomach swelling and getting fat on my back. I hadn't noticed that my skin on my arms and legs was dry and wrinkling. I just hadn't noticed. I was in pain from something else. So the spine fractured, and all of a sudden I found myself in a sausage factory of medical people who didn't listen and who didn't care, and all they wanted to do was give me drugs. And do you know, if they had given me drugs, if I had taken the drugs, they did give me a prescription, if I had taken those drugs, I would be in a worse state. But because I have fought to find my natural cause, the root cause of why I've got osteoporosis, I've actually been able to make amazing strides forwards. It took me 6 months to find why. And I already had a really, really good diet. I've studied nutrition. So it wasn't like I had to sit there and change a lot about my lifestyle, but I had to really think about how I was going to lower the prolactin, raise the dopamine, start to do something about the estrogen and rebuild the serotonin levels so I didn't feel like I wanted to die. People don't talk about mental health in osteoporosis, and I can tell you from the forums and the groups that I'm in, people are desperate. They don't know where to turn and they don't know what to do. And there's great books and there's great resources, and lots of people talk about exercise and nutrition, but they don't talk about this. They don't talk about this. And I just want to read you something. I mean, one of the ways I got through this, obviously I changed my diet, but I journaled. And I think those two things for me really changed my perspective on life. This is 0051, and I woke up and I was scared. I'm scared, not for me, but for my babies. I don't know if you've seen one of my dogs walking around. But what if I'm not here? Who will love them? And what if there's something wrong and it takes time to heal, and that means I never have the chance to know love again? What if this is it? I have no idea. I'm feeling fearful, other than I couldn't bear it. And if I never felt Marley's fur or her licks, or if I couldn't tickle Angel's neck and have her sweet kisses, or Ferdy snuggled into me, so brave. I want to smell them forever. They're in my heart and I can't let them down. And do you know, that night I can see it. I cried and I cried and I cried and cried because I was scared that my babies were going to be left without their mum, which is completely stupid because people would have rescued them and my will has put money aside for them. But that was because of all these hormones and these things going crazy in my head. When I woke up in the morning and I read it, and it was like, come on, go for a walk, spend time with the dogs, work on the next thing that's going to help you with your healing. And slowly, I know I'm emotional now because I'm remembering it, and I'm thinking about all the people that are in this position. There's got to be a better way. There's got to be a way that people with things like this get the mental help that they need. You know, I'm pushing and pushing and pushing people to journal because, you know, when you journal, when you look back over your life, when you do a timeline and you start to find clues and you look at what's going on in your body in this moment, and you do a food diary and you look at emotionally how food makes you feel, you can start to make changes. But more than anything else, you need people to talk to. You need friends to learn, to lean on. And do you know what else you need to do? This was the hardest thing for me. You've got to learn to ask for help. You've got to open this and you've got to say, I need help. And I'm imploring anyone who's watching this. I know it's horrible. I know the pain. I know what it feels like not to be able to breathe, not to be able to walk, not drive, not be able to do my shopping. I know what it's like to try and have to ease myself out of bed. I know what it's like to feel like I want to die. But I don't want that anymore, and I don't want it for you. And if you know someone who's got osteoporosis, it's not just low bone density. There's a whole lot of stuff in here. I just want you to hug them, reach out to them, listen to them, buy them a journal, let them know that you love them. So that's me. I'm Dale. You can find me on Facebook. I actually have a group called Healing Osteoporosis Naturally. I promise not to cry every day, and we are there ready to give you a hug and welcome you in.